Hello there! Welcome to Being a Responsible Player, a discussion on the importance of helping others. My name is Tuskeh, and in this video aimed towards those of a higher item level, we need to talk about responsibility and not being an ass. Now, if you're not in high level gear, so anywhere above about 550, 560, then this isn't really going to apply to you. But I still think that it's an important thing to keep in mind, because in the ever-constant gear grind that is WoW's endgame, with enough work, you'll get to this point eventually. Now let me cast your mind back. You've just recently hit level 90. Perhaps it was a day ago, a week ago, or even a month ago. You want to be a raider. You want to be that awesome tank that never dies, or the damage dealer that annihilates the meters, or the awesome healer that heals through all of the damage that should kill you. You'll get there, but first you need the gear, and that gear will take a long time. As you move through dungeons, LFR, flex, normal mode, heroic mode, whatever, you will always see people who outgear you. When I was gearing up my Elemental Shaman, I spent a lot of time being completely trashed on the meters by all kinds of other players in high gear. I, and everyone else in those raids, had no chance, and that was good. Know why? Because the runs went much smoother with that kind of player in them. An insanely geared tank can make a run happen, just then and there, on the spot. A healer in high gear can solo heal an LFR. A damage dealer can annihilate most enemies before they even become a problem. Someone that can do that is not there to get gear, most likely, because they gigantically outgear it. Maybe they want transmog, or they started their legendary questline a bit late, or they're helping a friend or a guild member. Point is, their presence is a great help to the raid. That's my point here. When you're in that kind of gear, your very presence in, say, a Throne of Thunder or Siege of Orgrimmar LFR is brilliant. When you're in high gear and you don't even need flex, your presence in those can bolster the runs a great deal. Now, I'm an advocate of skill over gear, and this is no exception. But generally, people in high gear tend to know what they're doing, because getting the gear will probably require it. This, of course, isn't always the case, and there are always exceptions with morons in insane gear. I'm not going to question that, but the odds of this happening are pretty low. So, as you can pretty clearly see, a high-geared player in an environment below their gear level is a great help to any raid they join. But why would you do that, right? What's the point of going through raids that you don't need anymore? Well, here's the point, and this may blow your mind. Human beings. Oh my goodness. This can be a bit difficult to remember, but behind every single avatar, every single name in your chat box is a human being with a life. Probably a family, most likely parents, maybe children. Who knows? It's impossible to tell via the medium of WoW, and everyone has a life. And let's face it, even those weird people that don't play video games don't get a chance to be as nice as you can be in World of Warcraft. Sure, the actual act is pretty easy, you just spend an hour of your time pressing buttons. The act is pretty inconsequential, but even if you don't get thanked, there will be people in the LFR or the Flex that are thankful. They may not even understand which player, if any, made that run significantly easier than the last, but they'll understand that it was easier. But maybe helping random people isn't incentive enough for you. So let me tell you a story. A few months ago, my guild was struggling with recruitment. We were on a small server, and we couldn't really find anyone with the right mindset for our normal mode team, and we were on the verge of disbanding. It sucked. Around that time, I was working on my Siege of Orgrimmar flex guides. Now, I made flex runs quite often anyway, because I liked running them, and I'm about to tell you why. I made a group for Wing 2, and it went pretty smoothly. I was fairly talkative in the instance chat, and everyone was having fun. I made a few battle tag friends for further flex raiding afterwards. But here's the thing. There was a particular player in that run, who ended up whispering me near the end. He said, "Hey, you're pretty cool. Thanks for doing this. Do you mind if I add you on battle tag?" I accepted, and I thought I'd just get another random battle tag friend that I'd poke occasionally for flex raiding. I was wrong. This guy's name was Tazim. If you've seen my Garrosh kill video, you may remember me yelling out his name a couple of times. That's right, this random person I met in flex actually talked to me after the fact. We chatted, became pretty good friends, and he occasionally joined our normal mode runs, and ended up getting to the point where he was joining us every single week. Eventually, he forked out some real money for a server change to join our guild. And he, along with a few others, is the reason our guild killed Garrosh. I met this guy in a flex that I ran because A, I was doing a guide, and B, I wanted to help people. He's geared up and does some great DPS now. He's getting to the point where he's actually starting to beat me, and it's pretty scary. Bloody warlocks. So, if that's not incentive, you know, making friends and potentially getting new people to raid with, then what more do you need? I understand the arguments, I really do. And honestly, I don't do this as often as I should. No one does. But that's not the point. My goal here isn't to try and convince you to run every LFR and every flex every week. Holy hell, no! My point is that you have spent so much time gearing up, and now you have the opportunity to help large groups of players get through content easier. Why would you not do it? Oh, because you don't need the gear. Well, newsflash! Your gear only has a few months of life left anyway. Warlords of Draenor is going to annihilate your gear. If you haven't seen this before, then the questing greens are going to be better than your current gear. Yeah, get the crying done now. Why do you even care anymore? At this point, if you're in high gear, using the "oh, I don't need the gear" argument is insane. After spending months of time learning your class, getting into good gear, and stepping out of the so-called cesspool of lower geared players, why is your first reaction to run away from the pool screaming? Why not turn around, reach into it, and help others get out? Because I've been in it. Everyone has, or, still is. And no, it's not fun compared to normal mode raiding, but don't use that as an excuse to turn your back on those people, because my experience has shown me that there are great people in LFR and Flex, trapped by circumstance. Sure, there are assholes, and people like that are everywhere. It doesn't matter if they're in low or high gear, because they're assholes. But for every person like that you remember in LFRs and Flexes and that you apparently have nightmares about, there are lower geared people who don't do very high DPS, who don't annihilate the healing meters, or who die fairly easily as a tank. But they don't stand in stuff. They don't die to simple raid damage. They're learning. They are where they need to be. Those people right now, who are struggling in LFRs and Flexes, may very well be the people who save guilds, and who help get that kill on Garrosh. I've seen it. All you need to do is turn around, poke your hand into the pool, and see what you can pull out. A single LFR run every week or two. A flex every now and then. If every high-geared player did this, every single LFR and every single flex would be much, much better than it currently is. Think about that for a while. We are all on the same team here. And even if you don't do that, think about people outside of your raid team who you know, even if they're in the guild or they're a friend. If someone asks for your help in a guild flex, even if it's not your own, don't turn your back on them because the content is below you. That's a terrible excuse, and it makes you a pretty crap friend. However, if you go ahead and do it, or even offer your help to your friends even if they didn't ask you, then not only will you make your friendship stronger, but you'll have the opportunity to help people. Now, honestly, if you can't be asked to help out lower geared players, and you're content to just sit around in the shrine complaining that there isn't enough to do, and you think that because you raised an arbitrary number in a video game, you are somehow a better player or a better person than someone in an LFR or a flex, then you need to get off your ass and help people, because really, you're acting like an asshole. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're not an asshole. Don't act like one. You have the opportunity in your high gear to help others. Do so, and despite all of this being a video game for fun, you can make actual human beings in fairly large quantities be thankful of your presence. And you can make people's days by making what should be a nightmare a little bit better, or even a whole lot better. You can save runs. Do so, and not only may you find friends, but you'll be a better player, a better friend, and a better person in the long run. Finally, for all of those arguments that can be made that, oh, this is just a video game, it doesn't matter, it's just for fun, it's pointless playing around next to the big, long path of life, you're wasting your time by playing them and talking about them. Let me ask you a question. If you can't get off your ass in the shrine to help a group of players in a game, how the hell are you going to get off your ass and step up above the other idiots in real life when someone actually needs help? Because I've seen that. I've seen people struggling with something on the side of a road, maybe a car wreck or something like that, with dozens, hundreds of cars going past and ignoring them. That's below me. It's not part of my life. You are not a sheep. You are a human being with a brain, with loves and hates and family and friends. And so is every other human being around you and on WoW. Start in WoW, and it will help magnificently. Don't believe me? Try devoting just a bit of time to a friend's flex run, or to joining an LFR and helping it go fast and smooth. Then, tell me how you feel, because helping others is great, even if you don't get thanked, and especially when they don't expect it. Because in this bloody world that we live in, no one expects it. And that sucks. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you have any thoughts, make sure to leave a comment below and like or dislike the video. I'm always after feedback, so let me know what you think. You can contact me using the links in the description, or just leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe to catch my videos as soon as they come out. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck with your ventures in the world of Warcraft.